Hello everybody, my name is Mattie and I'm back with my semi-daily reaction video series where I, as a music producer, give my perspective on some of the most fantastic musicians on YouTube. Today, we have something that I'm very excited for. One of the craziest bands I've heard in a while has released a song about 2 months ago that I have not listened to yet. I do know about the band. I've listened to their song Goat, and I've listened to a couple other of their songs, and I know the guitarist Tim Henson because I follow him on Instagram. Amazing band, doing things that are crazy, ridiculously hard and insane. Today, they have a new song featuring Steve Vai, another absolutely ridiculously talented guitarist, and I'm guessing that it's going to be a cacophony, a conglomeration for the ages, if you will. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mattie, and as we go through this song, I'm going to give my perspective on what's happening with the frequency spectrum as a multi-instrumentalist, guitarist, as a music producer, vocalist, so on and so forth. I know a little bit about music, and hopefully I can shed some kernels of knowledge back on you. Let's get into it, though. Here we go. All right. First off the bat, it looks like he's using a guitar that's an acoustic sonic guitar. I don't know if this is Fender made. It doesn't actually look like it. But what it is it's a hybrid guitar that's an electric guitar that can be plugged in, but it can also sound like an acoustic guitar. This actually has nylon strings, which are typical of classical guitars, so it can give a really unique and interesting sound. This is a newer sound because these have only just recently been invented in the last, 8 years or so. This video starting off first of all, this room is really cool, but he's just playing it. There's no other microphones. He's not plugged into anything. It just sounds like raw strings. I'm sure that'll change. Very cool transition there. Very cool transition. I like both of their kicks, and this room setting is sick. Sick. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. The riffs this guy is playing on the guitar are unbelievably difficult and challenging. When I first heard him play, I was astounded at the things that he was even attempting because it was so unique that nobody else was ever doing it. In fact, I've heard many guitarists describe him as a guitarist that is paving a new generation of guitarists by creating these new ways of playing. He's using harmonics, he's using tap harmonics, but what I've heard about Tim Henson, this guitarist, is in order to teach himself how to play some of the parts he was producing, he would create extensive and really intricate MIDI parts on like a piano roll on a DAW or a software like Logic or Ableton, and then he would go back through and teach himself how to play that on the guitar. Very unique way of approaching the guitar, and because of it, he's really discovered and unlocked some new ways of playing. It's super cool to hear. I mean, you can hear his guitar. It sounds unlike maybe other electric guitars you've heard. He's using so many tap harmonics. He's using both hands, and he's playing extremely fast. He's using percussive slaps as well. Super cool. Continue. That was a very similar style to the way that Tim Henson was playing. I'm not sure what guitarist this is. It's not Steve Vai. I'm guessing it's the other guitarist in Polyphia. I actually don't know who that is, but that's okay. Let's continue on. Oh my God. I love those harmonies on the guitar there. That's awesome. One thing that I do also have to point out about this band is I've been juicing and I've been pumping Tim Henson's tires, but the bassist, this guitarist, I don't even know his name, and the drummer are all extremely tight and they're just so good at what they're doing. The drummer is doing things so well. He's playing some intricately rolled hi-hats. He's playing some very complex rhythm parts to accompany some of the complex rhythm parts played in the other instruments, and he's all doing it keeping such a tight rhythm. Now, I understand that this is a studio recording, and they are playing the instruments here, but look, it's not plugged in. It's just for show, right? They've all can play the instruments, obviously, but this is just a music video. In the studio, I'm sure that they are tight, that they can do this live, because I've seen them do it live. I've seen them play Goat live, and it is the same as you'd expect it to be. All right, get out of here. And let's continue on. I got 2 whole minutes left. I'm ready for Steve to come in and blow me away. Uh-oh. There he is. Ooh, let me point out something cool about Steve's guitar right here. He actually has a slightly scalloped fretboard, and that means in between these frets, the guitar neck is carved out. That allows you for a more intimate feeling with the strings. You feel less of the guitar neck when you play, and you feel way more of the actual strings themselves. That can be helpful for bending. He's also using this whammy bar pretty heavily in this first solo, but it's totally a preference thing. You don't absolutely need scalloped guitars, and it's an interesting feeling if you've never played with them before, but I thought I'd point that out. Oh, I like that. Okay, I do want to point out one thing that's going on here that isn't being shown by the things that are on screen. Understanding that this is just a representation, like a visual representation, and not necessarily an accurate sound recording of what's going on, they are missing out on what sounds like a couple of synths that are added in this final chorus to beef up the sound. And that's totally fine. I'm sure maybe they have the guitarist like hits a sample during their live show, or maybe they even have an actual keyboardist on their live show, because I know that they could absolutely play it, but it's adding something more to the sound. They have the guitarist, they have everything else. They have the two guitarists going in hard, and it maybe it's not a synth. Maybe it is just a heavily affected and processed guitar. That could also be the case. But to me, it sounds like they're missing out on a couple of elements that they have in the track that they're not showing in this particular music video. Let's go back and I'll try to point out what I'm saying. There was some synths there that I heard, maybe like a brass synth. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum-ba-da. I'll go back, try to point that out. Right there. You can hear that synth coming in too. I like that shot. Oh, cool ending. Uh-oh. No way. What a sweet shot. So sick. Super cool, super cool, super cool. All right, that'll do it for Ego Death featuring Steve Vai and Polyphia. Amazing. These guys are doing things I have never heard before, and I really love it. It's cool too because a lot of the music I normally listen to has lyrics and has a melody and a vocalist. That's something that's really important to me because that's a big part of my musicianship is singing. You don't necessarily need a vocalist for music like this. The highlights are obviously the guitars and the solos, and the production is just top quality. All of the musicians in this band, world-class musicians, no doubt. I like that they did show that trumpeter was there at the very end because it sounded like he came in beforehand, the brass came in beforehand, but as knowing that it was a real instrument played and knowing that there was a trumpet person, probably the same one that played on the track, always makes me feel good, knowing that they went the extra mile to get that real sound. Nowadays, it's really easy to just throw it into a sample and get decent sounds, but really the soul and the heart of a good trumpet or brass sound comes from a live recording. Same with every instrument, in my opinion. If you have any other musicians like Polyphia that you want me to check out, please throw them in the comments below. I would love to analyze them, give my perspective, maybe throw you some musical knowledge your way so that you can enjoy it a little bit more. If you're interested in learning more about music production or guitar or even vocals, please check out my link in the description below for one-on-one music lessons with me. Now until Christmas, I'm running a special where you can get your first lesson with me for $15. Those lessons go to help support this channel and help me keep making reaction videos like this just for you. So if you could do that, if you're interested, that'd help me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Peace.